Hello, I'm Janet Kinchelow-Martin with Calhoun Community College, and welcome to this edition of the Calhoun Review. We are so excited with our guest today. Our guest is relatively new to the institution, and I use the term relatively very loosely. Our guest today is Dr. Donna Estill, and Donna is Dean for the Division of Humanities and Social Sciences here at Calhoun. And Donna, thanks so much for being with us, and welcome to Calhoun.
Well, thank you.
And I say welcome, but then you've been here almost a whole academic year now, so.
I don't feel new.
Well, you're not new. But lots has been happening, and I know the time has gone by very quickly. And Donna actually has a background in the two-year college system, not only here in the state of Alabama, but in other states. And actually, you came to us from a two-year college in another state, and talk to us a little bit about why you decided to come to Calhoun and a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I actually started my educational career in Huntsville at UAH as a secretary at UAH.
Wow.
And I earned my master's degree there. And from there I moved into a lot of different aspects. I have been in education from pre-K all the way up through university. I've worked in private and public institutions.
Wow, you have done it all.
I've worked in libraries, I've worked in administration, I've worked as a faculty member, so I've done a lot of different areas of community colleges and universities as well. And so but community college is really my passion.
Okay.
And after I earned my doctoral degree at the University of Alabama, I wanted to get back into the community college system, and I spent some years at Alabama Southern in Monroeville and moved out of state to take a job. But as the great Paul Bear Bryant said, Mama called me home. I had wanted to work at Calhoun for many years. It is just a great institution with a lot of support for great education, and that draws anybody to a place. And so Calhoun was just a desperate longing for me, actually, for a lot of years. And
we're happy that your dream came true.
I'm not ashamed to say I interviewed for many jobs before I got this one, and so I'm very
but the thing is, it's right place, right time.
The right place at the right time, exactly. And I am glad to be here. I am just ecstatic to be in the Humanities and Social Sciences division.
Well, we are even more ecstatic that you are part of the Calhoun family. And Donna and I actually go back a little ways because we went through a leadership program together a few years ago.
And had a lot of fun with that,
didn't we?
We
really did. We spent a whole year together working on projects and programs and having, like you said, lots of fun. And probably had one of the wildest leadership classes that they had with that program. But we're not going to talk about that. But Donna, talk to us a little bit about your division, because you truly do have a really fun division, a really creative division when we talk about humanities and social sciences. So all the arts and theater and like I said, all the fun things are a part of your division.
That is correct. All of the fun things are. I agree. Obviously I think English is a lot of fun. Maybe everybody else doesn't.
Well, see, I'm a writer, so I think
so
English
much
is fun too. So.
But we have a wonderful faculty there in social sciences, history, sociology, anthropology. We're finding a lot of students who are interested in anthropology because it encompasses so much of our world, I think, and everybody's excited about that. But we also have theater. We have a huge number of productions every year, just a wonderful productions. We just got through with Hamlet, and that was a fabulous production. We have music, we have jazz band, we have chorale, we have virtually any kind of music you want to make, you can come to Calhoun.
And I'm telling you, some of the best performances. Our chorale performed at our Martin Luther King program.
Yes.
And
beautiful.
I'm telling you, amazing, amazing.
And then we also have the fine arts, the visual arts. We have graphic design, if you are interested in drawing cartoons, all the way to animating mechanical instruments for a company. That falls under graphic design. And
so like I said, all the fun
stuff. And just painting, drawing, and we have a beautiful new facility for that at the Alabama Center for the Arts.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second, but there's so much that is in your division. How do you keep it all together? And not only do you have to hold residence here at the Decatur campus, but also at the Huntsville campus.
That's correct. I have offices on both campuses, which helps a lot, but I have have great people working with me to help me keep it together. We have division secretaries who tell me where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing and remind me when I'm about to forget something major. We also have fabulous faculty members on both campuses. It makes it so easy to move from one place to the other because they want it to work out. It's not just me wanting it to work. They want it to work too. And so they are very helpful with getting it all together. And it's so much fun. It's just, it doesn't really feel like work keeping it together.
And that's really what makes the time go by so quickly, is that it doesn't really feel like work. Because if it's an area, first of all, that you truly love, and then if you're working at a place that you truly love, then it does make it fun.
That is true.
And I'd ask someone what they thought was a strength, and I think you've basically said the same thing, is that our people are our strength here at Calhoun.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
This is a wonderful place to work.
Yeah, well, we're glad that you think so and that you're here. Talk to me a little bit about your area as it kind of relates to workforce development, because when we talk about workforce development, the areas in the health sciences area, nursing, paramedic, clinical laboratory technology, and then the areas in our technologies like machine tool technology and robotics and aerospace. Those we sort of kind of can clearly see the connection with workforce development, because those programs support certificates and degrees that lead directly to the workforce. But some of the areas under your division don't necessarily do that. However, they are very, very important to workforce development and to the development of our students. So talk to me a little bit about that relationship.
It's an interesting dilemma because a lot of people ask the very same question, and some people who give us money ask the same questions. I always use the analogy with our students that when you go out onto a football field or a volleyball court or a basketball court, you don't just do that sport. You train your whole body to become good at what you do. If you just play basketball, you're probably not going to be the most effective basketball player that you can be. You have to do bench presses and squats, and even though you're not doing those on the court. The same thing really is true of your brain. So if you're just doing industrial maintenance, or if you're just doing nursing, you may not be getting the full development of your brain that would help you become a more effective worker. I can give you an example from my own life. I have a degree in journalism with a very strong liberal arts core, and after I got my degree, I went to work as a secretary and then became a budget analyst for a several $million-dollar budget. I have one college algebra course and no business courses, no accounting courses, nothing like that.
You were a budget analyst?
And I was a budget analyst for some years, and then ran a small private school, the financial side of that as well, with English courses and psychology courses and sociology courses, because they teach you various ways of looking at data that help you put together a big picture. And those skills come in handy wherever you are. Some of the strongest courses that I've used over the years are psychology courses. And I have no degree in psychology, but I've used them in my job on an everyday basis. I use math in my English, even as an English teacher, I used math so much more than I thought I would. So I think it's important for students to have that whole big rounded core. The other thing that I've seen several studies lately that show that humanities and social sciences are the places where students make the biggest gains in critical thinking skills over the course of their college career. So those critical thinking skills, we hear from businesses again and again that we absolutely have to develop those skills. Also, the more obvious answers, communication skills falls under this. Every business that we talk to says we need we need graduates with communication skills, with both written and verbal communication skills. We need students who are able to think beyond just this small picture that they're looking at. We need them to be able to see the big picture. And humanities and social sciences are an ideal place for that to happen.
And I think too, just to make ourselves more well-rounded and to be able to know what's happening in the world, and to be able to talk with people about all kinds of things, because we are often told that music is one of those things that kind of traverses every language.
That is correct. And to the point that humanities and social sciences were the things that the Greeks, the Romans, and the early British, French, all of those cultures thought that these were important enough that that all citizens who voted had to have those skills.
Yes.
So I think it's a critical area, and it's part of what makes us the culture that we are. We are the United States,
Exactly.
and we see our culture in terms of literature and history and the sociology that makes
Yes.
us up. So
And, we think too about people when they move to a particular area. That they want to be able to be exposed to those kinds of things, to the arts and music and theater. And we have so much of that now
We do.
because of what's happening not only in the local community but also with the colleges and universities. And like you were saying, we have such a broad range of talent here at Calhoun.
Yes, we
it's just
do.
amazing.
Our students are awe-inspiring. Sometimes I wish I had a little bit of the talent that they have.
Yeah. And some of them actually have gone on to be professionals, to be actors and
They have.
performers, and so we are very, very proud of the products that we produce
Yes,
here at
we
Calhoun.
are.
Well, you mentioned a little while ago about the Alabama Center for the Arts, and anybody that has visited downtown Decatur has seen that beautiful building. And if you have not got a chance to go into it, step inside it. We'd love for you to be able just to walk through. And the third floor is truly amazing. You're talking about painting, and what an inspiring view.
Yes.
Somebody knew what they were doing when they built that building.
Yes, it is. And there's always an art exhibit on the
Yes.
main floor, so if you like art, that's a good place to go look
Yes.
at some art.
Let's talk a little bit about that building and what's in it, and because we have students that are there, and it's good. And I know that the folks in downtown Decatur are happy to see those students, but we want more students to be able to access that building and take advantage of the resources there. And then talk a little bit about, because there is a relationship that we have with Athens State as part of that building.
That is correct. We house actually both of our visual arts programs for Athens State and for Calhoun Community College in the Alabama Center for the Arts.
The phase one.
The phase one, and will in phase two as well as we move forward on that. We have painting classes, we have drawing classes, we have ceramics, we have printmaking. Pretty much any kind of art class that you might want to take, you can take at the Alabama Center for the Arts. We have worked very closely with Athens State in developing our spaces, and we share the spaces, and it's been a wonderful relationship. It allows our students to move, if they wish, seamlessly from one program to the other. They don't even have to change buildings, so it's a really wonderful opportunity for our students.
Which is what it was designed to be. So
It is a beautiful, beautiful
Yes,
building.
it is.
As Janet said, we've got a lot of space for art, and the third floor is truly spectacular.
Yes.
There's a whole row of classrooms across the front of the building with wide open glass spaces, and you can see out across Decatur, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful vision. On the second floor, we have state-of-the-art computer equipment for our graphic design program, and that's a really important thing for our students, because they're going to go out into the workplace from graphic design. That is an AAS degree, and so frequently they move straight with an associate's degree into a job, and so they need to have those latest technologies.
That's right.
And those are available for us there. So, and then we have office spaces, and as I said, on the first floor, it's a gallery pretty much. So right now at Athens State, it's hanging their senior show, and I think that's going to be wonderful. We have professional artists in exhibit there as well, and they change regularly, so you need to go by at least once or twice a year and see what's out there.
Oh, no, more often than that.
More, I would say yes.
Way more often than that.
Way more often than that. But if you don't do anything else, at least once or twice a year.
But you mentioned phase two, and very, very shortly, because I know people have been asking us, but very shortly we're going to have the groundbreaking for phase two of the Alabama Center for the Arts, and that's going to create even more excitement for downtown Decatur and also for Calhoun and for Athens State. So talk to us a little bit about what will be in that building.
Well, that building is going to house our music programs. We have music industry communications, which includes recording and a lot of the technical side of the recording industry. We'll also house our chorale and our bands, and we'll have practice spaces there. Again, we're working with Athens State on this one, so we've had a chance to sit down with architects and with the faculty and staff and administration at both colleges, which of course is a little bit time consuming.
However, how important is that? Because I know that's
so
what we've
critical.
done with all of our buildings. We did that with phase one, is that it's so important to involve the faculty because they are the ones that are living there.
That is exactly right. And they've been the strongest input into the building process. They have looked at spaces. I know that they're probably starting to lose track of which phase they're in looking at this, but we are about to the finish line, I think.
Yeah.
We've talked through our architectural issues and gotten those worked out, and we're looking at construction, and
so we should be seeing some ground moving this summer. Yay.
Look for big announcements soon about that. So I think it's exciting.
Yes, it is.
And I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity, again, for our music program, just in the way that our art program can now move seamlessly in the same building, so will our music program be able to do as well.
And it's good to, again, as we were saying earlier, for those students to be able to be seen in downtown Decatur. I think it lends something to the business perspective of downtown Decatur, but also for our students to be able to kind of experience downtown Decatur if they normally would not be able to.
Exactly, and they like that, I think. They have enjoyed being able to go out. There are other art venues there that they can go out and see. There are other music venues that they can go out and see, and they may not have been aware of those otherwise, so it's been exciting.
Yeah, we do have such a strong arts community here in Decatur and also in Huntsville and the surrounding areas, so it's good that we can be more of a part of that.
Yet another reason I wanted to be here.
Yay, well, we're glad you're here. Talk to me a little bit about just sort of kind of the wants that you have for your area. If you had an unlimited budget, Dr. Beck, our president, if you had an unlimited budget and the president said, okay, Donna, tell me what would be on your wish list of things that you'd like to have?
I hope someday, and I know this is a dream for Calhoun, not just for me, but a large performing facility.
Yes.
Our students deserve to have more audience because they are that good. And right now we'll have several different performances that are very limited. I can tell you that I went to see Hamlet one night and it was sold out, and they turned me away too. So we sell out performances in our fine arts.
And every time I've been to a performance, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make Hamlet, and I wasn't able to go, but every time I've been to one of our performances, it's been a packed house. As a matter of fact, the last one that we went to, we kind of make it a girls' night in my office. We somehow became a part of the show because we sat like in the very front row and we were sort of kind of on the floor, so we somehow became a part of the show.
So did you do the Big Bad Wolf or anything?
No, Donna, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole different story. Do not go on YouTube. But anyway, back to your wish list.
My wish list. So it would include a big facility. I do think when we had the chorale and guitar ensemble performance, we literally had people down the hall listening to it who could not get into the building. So we need a little bit more space for our students to perform. I would love to have endless scholarships for students as well. For me, it all goes back to the students.
Yes.
I have a lot of wishes for, this bit of computer equipment or that bit of computers or something I would like computers in all of our English classrooms, but it all comes down to the student. I want the students to have what they need, and I think scholarships, it's always difficult for students to pay for college, and I want to give them as much help as possible. And I would like to improve our technology in the classroom because our students do need access to technology. They're going to be asked to perform on technology when they get out into the workplace, and I think technology is a big interest for us in our area.
And so much so now, particularly with those students that are coming right out of high school, they are exposed to all kinds of technology. And so obviously they want to see the same kinds of things that they had at the high school level at the college level. So we have to be able to provide that to them. And again, like you said, then the employers expect them to be able to, once they graduate from our programs and enter the workforce, to be able to work on the kinds of equipment that they have available to them.
Right. And having a variety would really help us do that.
Exactly. Well, along with that wish list, and you touched on this some, you have a very huge, that's a good word, division. There's lots of things going on in your division.
There are a lot.
Some of them are related, some of them not so much, but they work together because they all are kind of in the creative realm.
Right.
What are some of the challenges that you face in your division?
Probably, there are as many people as there are and as many students, there are amazingly few challenges.
Well,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Our challenges are typically based on the growth of the institution, finding qualified instructors. Sometimes we have enough growth to add a couple of classes, but not a full-time instructor.
Right.
So we need really well-qualified adjunct instructors. So this is a plea for anybody who's got a master's degree and 18 graduate hours in a subject area that I teach. Please call me or contact Calhoun. I'll get you in there.
This is a very good recruiting tool.
So finding really qualified faculty is probably, and finding time for us to get together as a faculty to try to talk about what student issues we need to address.
Because you have a huge division, but you also have a division that's spread across more than one campus.
That's right. And because there are so many of us and spread so far, it does make it sometimes interesting to try to get us all together. But and when we do, it is an exciting piece of meeting. I can't tell you, there aren't many exciting meetings in my world, but those meetings are fun.
Well,
they
knowing
are
your
lively.
faculty, I'm sure that they are.
So the challenges are more related to size of classes, all of the growth that happens with Calhoun creates both opportunity and challenges. And so other than that,
but I guess as people say, those are good problems to have.
They are good problems to have.
You talk about the growth in your division because of the nature of the kinds of programs that are under your umbrella. You see a lot of our students who come to Calhoun.
They do.
Whether they're a nursing student or a graphic arts student or somebody in industrial maintenance. Those students, 9 times out of 10, are going to have to come through several of your programs or several of your classes. And so that creates a challenge in and of itself because of the sheer volume of students who come through your programs.
That's correct. We do see almost everybody has to take English, speech, psychology. There are a few core courses, history, and virtually everybody has to take, and they almost all fall in our division, or math, one or the other. And it does make for interesting challenges. In English and speech, for example, they get papers on a really wide variety of topics from art to welding. So it's kind of exciting.
But that's a good thing.
It is.
That's
it's very exciting.
Yeah.
And so it does make
because people write about what they know, and so
absolutely it makes life interesting and makes us feel needed, and we all like that. So.
Of course. Well, we've talked a lot about the fact that there is a lot under your umbrella, and along with all the programs that you have, we've talked about some of the performances, and we've talked about the theater. But there's some things that are coming along very quickly on the calendar that we want people to know about because we want them to come. And more times than not, now I know at some of our theater productions there's a ticket price, but it's still very, very reasonable. But lots of our performances and the activities that we have are free. And so we want people to be able to know about those. So let's talk about some of the ones that are coming up pretty soon.
Now, see, that's where I need my cheat sheet.
Okay. In April 22nd, Emily Jones.
Emily Jones is one of our
instructors.
That's right. One of our instructors at Calhoun Community College, Emily Jones, in music, is going to do a solo performance.
Okay.
And I think everybody will enjoy that. And that's here at our recital hall on the Decatur campus in the Fine Arts Building.
And I'm glad you said here on our Decatur campus because I have to remind myself that people outside Decatur see us, which is good. Yay, we're glad.
And in the same vein, we have our music department performance coming up. That will be students and our chorale, jazz band.
And that's our spring concert.
That's our spring concert, and that is April
29th.
29th. I was about to say the 27th. Very, very just brilliant performance, and I think everybody will enjoy that. Again, at our Fine Arts Building recital hall. Okay. And so I think everybody should get out and see that. I will be there, and I will be happy to see everybody out there. We have...
well, before we talk about the big read, there's something I wanted to say that I actually had thought about a while back, and something you said made me think about it now, and I'm glad that you said it. We talk about our very talented students, but when you talked about Emily Jones, and I know we have some other faculty members who have performed, Randy Cross has done it, and I know people in Decatur have probably seen Dr. Cross's performance. He does kind of a one-man kind of stand-up. We have such talented faculty in your area. We have talented faculty across the board, but particularly in the arts area, we have amazing faculty who perform, and it's so fun to see them.
Oh, it is, and if you ever come to Christmas parties or graduation parties, they perform there as well. So they're entertaining all the time, not just when they're on stage.
No wonder you have so much fun.
I do. Love my job.
But anyway, we're going to talk now about the big read, which is something that actually we kicked off last year, and this will be our second big read. And so let's talk very quickly about that, and then on May 7th is the culmination of this year's big read.
That's correct. The big read is about trying to get people to read for fun and enjoyment, and to interact with others about their reading. This year, everybody reads the same book. This year we're reading All the King's Men by Robert Penn Warren, and it's a story that's based loosely on Huey Long in Louisiana. So if you know the story of that, it's about a man who goes into politics and becomes what he doesn't want to be, becomes corrupt from that. At the end of the big read, we have a culminating event. I don't know quite what to call it. It's an event. It's just a big event. This year, one of our main speakers is going to be Dr. Wayne Flint, an Auburn historian who has written books about history, but he's also an expert on Robert Penn Warren, and that's kind of an exciting thing. And
it's open to whomever.
It's open to whomever. It will be free of charge, and we will have others there. This is not the only guest of honor there, and it will be an exciting event because Dr. Flint is one of the most incredible speakers that I've heard. I've heard him speak several times, and I really enjoy his presentations. He understands Alabama history better than anybody I think I've ever met. So he's going to be a really wonderful
And I've actually heard him speak through leadership. He came to do leadership program and talk about Alabama history. And like you said, he's very well versed in Alabama history, but he also you're on the edge of your seat wanting to hear more because he has all these stories. So.
And just a nice guy in general, too.
Yeah.
and will answer a lot of questions that you might have.
Well, that will be a good event, and you'll be hearing more about these events as we get closer to them. But I did want Donna, since I had her on the couch, to be able to talk very briefly about those. And in addition to all the activities that go on in Donna's area, you have lots of organizations, and we're running out of time, but Sigma Kappa Delta, we are the national headquarters for Sigma Kappa Delta.
Which is the English honorary.
Yes. And also the Theater and Drama Club, part of your area. Art Club, the Child Development Club. So there's
Criminal Justice Club is our very popular one right now. Everybody's into CIS. So.
That's right. And so, so there's lots, as you might have already guessed, there's lots going on in the Division of Humanities and Social Sciences, and we want you to come and be a part of it, whether you come to a theater production, or you come to view one of the art exhibits at the Art Center, or you come for the culminating event for the big read, or just if you want to just come for a tour of the campuses or the Art Center, we just invite you to come and be a part of this. And Donna, what's the best way for people to get more information about all the things that are going on in your area?
They can call our division secretaries, who will put them in touch with the right people. They're the smartest women I know, and they will put them in touch with the right people. They can also call me directly. I'd be happy to answer any questions that I can, and if I can't answer it, I'd be happy to share somebody else's information with them. So.
Or you can also go on our website at calhoun.edu, and we have information about all the programs and activities that are going on in the Division of Humanities and Social Sciences. Also have all the activities that we've talked about in events on our events calendar, which is on our homepage. And also we want to just tell people, even if you just want to take a class for fun, you have so many opportunities in your area for people to be able to do that.
We do, and we would love to have you come down. Our teachers are always excited to have new students, especially those who are really interested in their subject area. They love to teach.
Very good. Well, Donna, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for being a part of the Calhoun family. We're so excited to have you.
I'm
personally excited to have you. Because like I said, I've known Donna for quite some time, so I'm glad that she's here. I can see her all the time.
Kindred spirits here.
Exactly. And thank you for being with us for this edition of the Calhoun Review. If you want to get more information about anything we've talked about today, or anything as far as the college goes, you can visit our website at calhoun.edu. Thank you again for being with us, and we'll see you again next time.